but if she touched you. So they didn't want her, yeah.
She's going to run around, chase you around the playground.
I guess she could. That'd be pretty scary. That'd be a little weird anyways. Yeah. Some lady's chasing her kids around.
Especially if she's like 50 or something.
Her medicine, they said, because she was a midwife, her medicines had like this extraordinary violent effect on people. It wasn't working out for her.
Not a good medicine.
But here's the thing. In prison,
Bad medicine is what I need. Woo.
Scott?
What? Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Podcast.
It seemed to
Podcast.
fit.
This is yeah. Not American Bandstand.
Focus, Heidi. You lack focus.
I do. I wonder why. I'm married to you.
What?
I can't stay focused when you're, singing your 80s rock and yeah. So this Margaret Jones. Check this out. When she was in prison, a ghostly apparition of a little girl was seen with her a few times by guards and other prisoners, which is weird. And at the trial, she was very violent and erratic. And then the same day and hour that she was executed, there was this huge storm and it blew down all the trees. That's weird. But on the other side of the token, innocent people like Anne Higgins, she was killed in 1656. Now, did you ever hear the book The Scarlet Letter?
Actually, yeah, I have.
Okay, well, it was loosely based on her life. But she sued a group of carpenters that she hired to work on her house. She accused them of overcharging her. Well, she won the lawsuit, but people did not like the fact that here's this woman, because, back then women were supposed to be quiet and all sweet and nice and everything, baking cookies. But here's her. No, I'm suing these guys. She wins. People are like, I don't think we like you having such a big mouth, lady. And she refused to give an apology. And months after her husband died, all of a sudden she's a witch.
Yeah,
yeah, they killed her. Mm-hmm. Get rid of her.
Using it as a crutch to find a reason to do away with somebody that they don't like. Yep. And I'm sure there's a percentage of people, there may be a lot more than what's even recorded.
Oh, I know.
I'm sure there's a lot of the backyard type things, or you're a witch, we're going to take care of you, or
hush hush type stuff.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I totally agree.
And that goes on everywhere. It always has.
Yeah, it's sort of sad too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we only can go by what's known, the documents and stuff. But there's a lot of theories about the Salem witch trials, why they took place. And as we talked about earlier, we know that, the Puritans, even though they had these specific goals to purify, New England and take things over. So I think that... They were not liked. So they did their own thing. And I think they were trying to do right in the beginning, and like we talked about, just got out of control. So the most popular theory is the mass hysteria. People just went crazy and freaked out. When you're near. I don't even know that song.
Just keep going.
Okay.
What song?
I don't know. So maybe there was some mass hysteria, but the facts and some of these other theories show that there had to be so much more behind this. Like religion, obviously, was a huge factor. Right?
Showing an outward denial of the religious rules set was a crime. It's kind of like martial law to deal with religious heresy.
Yep.
The English believed that the Indians were devil worshippers, or occult healing, spirit practices to gods, and so on and so forth.
So they didn't like the Indians and stuff.
Yeah.
And the reason that gets tied in here is because half the men that were married to the... Now, when your wife was accused, you would be looked at as possibly a witch as well, because you're married to the person, they're going to share their stuff with you.
A warlock.
A warlock, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but half these men that were married, that the women that were accused, they had dealings with the Wabanaki tribe.
Because it's cool names.
Wabanaki.
Oh,
would you like that? Would you like your name to be Scott Wabanaki?
I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
Like I want some cool, what was the other? Taduda or...
Tituba?
Tatuba and
See, I don't want that name.
Chewbacca.
That's too hard to say.
Oh. These are great names.
Well, that's why they're in the
maybe
movies.
some people could text us this week. Or not text us, but
don't text
email
me.
us. But if you've got a really cool name, or even a middle name, I want to hear, because maybe I'm going to start using it.
Oh, Lord. I'm so scared for that. Yeah. All right. So, half these men that were married to these women that were accused, they had dealings with the Indian tribe, and they were taking over the land. So we're wondering, perhaps, maybe they were singled out.
Singled out, yes.
Many women eligible to receive the inheritance of their estate after their husband died, So that could have been a possibility too, being political and money.
Sure.
They didn't want the women to take over, so let's kill them off.
Money.
And there's a theory out there that many of the women that were accused were Christian, and that they were catching the elite, like the people in power, using witchcraft, which would not be out of the question because they were earlier trying to do little, like harvest spells and stuff. Yeah, so that
harvest spells.
Yeah, so that could be.
Great pumpkin rises out of the pumpkin.
Maybe that's where that came from.
That's it.
So those who were found.
Linus was doing like divination or something.
Linus.
He was.
I knew it. And the dog, the witch dog. Snoopy.
Oh, don't start on the
Snoopy's
dog.
a witch dog.
Everybody loves Snoopy.
I know.
They all know they call it Charlie Brown.
He was
this
eating
Charlie
cake
Brown,
with
that.
Lucy's urine.
It was really always about Snoopy. Everybody loves Snoopy.
But Snoopy was eating Lucy's urine.
We talked about Charlie Brown before. The guy really got a bum rap. He didn't do anything wrong.
And he didn't have any hair. How old was that kid? He had
why he have no hair?
Why was he bald? Poor Chuck. And I just wanted somebody to slug Lucy sometime. She was just so mean. She was probably the witch. Remember she was a witch in the Halloween special?
Oh, she was, but that was supposed to be something that was totally
out of character.
Or whatever of her real personality. And I think a lot of people are like, whatever.
See? So many subliminal messages about witches in there. Mm-hmm. I knew it.
They drew on the back of his head. That's wrong.
That's wrong. I don't know if anybody's even listening that saw this. Pumpkin, the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Everybody has seen the Great Pumpkin.
If not, they're probably going to try to figure out what we're talking about. So,
because he's real.
Well, anyways, those who were found guilty of witchcraft had their land confiscated by the state.
Of course, money again. Mm-hmm. Another reason. Disease and ignorance, like typhus, smallpox, diphtheria.
That was going around, right?
Yeah, that was going around. People at that time didn't understand the disease, so they looked at it as a supernatural causes to explain the problems.
Yeah, and the...
Well, you're vomiting. You obviously are a witch.
Well, the symptoms were like convulsing, the fever.
Oh, yeah.
So that could...
High temperature alone can do some of that.
That could have been some of the thing.
Poisoning.
Ergo, or I think it's ergo poisoning, which is contaminated rye. That can cause mass hysteria and persuasion. It can mess up your mind.
Oh.
So they're wondering... They say that was ruled out because then the people would have died, but we don't know that either.
Yeah, but you're going back to 1700s or whatever, and you don't have the... there's people throughout everywhere are going to have issues with food and different water issues because they don't have
so there might
cooling
be different
and all
stuff
that.
Going on.
And so now you're into this little time frame where everything that goes wrong, you're a witch.
Yeah.
Oh, you're sick, you're a witch. Oh, your dog growled at me, he's a witch.
That's so funny. Here, you
what would you say, Mr. Rabbit? What? You eyeballing me, Rabbit?
I think our squirrel's a witch.
I know that squirrel is. He gets up on my planter one more time.
Yeah,
he's going down.
He's going down. Well, another theory is fear. Okay, so like we talked about, the supernatural was a huge part of their belief system, the Puritans, only they didn't understand it. So they often preached about hell and devils and witches and all that stuff. Well, once the witch hunts began, right, if you were against them, then you were an advocate for the witches. So this obviously meant you were a witch also. So now everybody's a witch.
We're kind of screwed in this deal.
And I think a lot of people, didn't want to be accused, so they would just automatically accuse somebody else or pretend that they were bewitched. So it got all craziness. So because of this, many people started accusing others just to be safe. And some accused admitted it just to confess so that they would live. Because they knew that they would, if they confessed, they'd live. So even if they didn't. So we don't really know who was and who wasn't. And a lot of people wonder if the kids were faking. They were acting out because their parents were so strict and they had to do a lot of stuff. So the kids were like, oh, it's working for them. And then maybe they were getting attention.
Sure. Right.
So,
every kid likes a little attention.
Sure. Yeah. So in 1702, the General Court declares that the 1692 trials were unlawful.
Who's General Court?
They're Massachusetts.
Oh, I thought that was his name, General Court.
Oh, no. Oh, that would have been a neat name. Hey, you know what, though? I knew somebody who he was a, who oversees the prisons, what are they called?
Guards?
No. Well, some Okay.
I just can't.
Well, now that I can't even think of the name, the story won't even be funny. But it was.
If you remember,
like he was a guard. His name was like Guard. Like it was really funny. So
I guess the listeners are not. They're just not going to get any of this right now.
I'll try to remember what it is, and maybe I'll tell it sometime. But it's really funny. I'm laughing because I know it's
funny to us. Everybody just laugh with us.
You are ridiculous. Oh my God.
Oh, I didn't want a knee slapper.
Thank you. I try.
All right.
Okay, but check this out. In 1992, on the 300th anniversary of the trials, a witchcraft memorial was designed by James Cutler and dedicated to Salem. But it bothers me because, like we talked about, all these people in Salem now, especially during Halloween, they've got witch this and witch that, and money, and it's like these people died, and it's awesome that you want to put a memorial.
Yeah, you got to put the mistakes of history. Sometimes you don't bring them up and do stuff like that.
Yeah.
You let it go. You don't know exactly what happened.
I mean, is it right to make money off these innocent deaths? I don't know.
No.
So.
Well, it's wrong. It's still wrong in God's eyes. You're still killing.
And everybody's like, well, what about that scripture, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live? Totally different. That was an Exodus time, and things changed, but the Puritans, their heart weren't right. They wasn't pure. So, it's sort of sad how that all...
you wanna be forgiven. You gotta forgive,
I know.
That's the way it goes.
Yeah, so, I don't know. I think it's pretty sad that it all happened. But...
Absolutely.
So that's the witch thing tonight.
What? That's all of it? We're done?
Yeah.
We did it in 2 parts because we have a glitch because of a witch in the middle.
Yeah, I don't know.
What?
I don't know what was up with that.
What?
That was pretty weird. So.
What are we going to do now?
Well, we should probably thank everybody for listening.
Thank you. Thank you for listening to Talk Supernatural.
If you're not already, you guys can follow us on Spreaker.
And
if you get the Spreaker app on your mobile device. You can listen on
mobile device.
There, too.
You can also listen on there, too.
Scott?
Yes?
It's pretty neat.
It's pretty neat.
You can like our Facebook page, Talk Supernatural Radio.
Find it. And dig it, Daddy.
Tonight I'm going to put up some pictures and some
Put them
links.
up, the pictures.
I'm going to put up...
Photo op coming your way.
I'm going to put up some pictures and links.
Of
the Salem witch trials.
Witch trial. Linka, sinka, blinka.
Okay. You can tweet your questions or comments at TSR Parapod.
TSR Parapod.
And you can find Talk Supernatural on Google+. But
you can find it on Google+. Dig it.
And if you guys want to email any questions or sympathy for me,
sympathy for her.
TalkSupernatural@gmail.com. And if you want to see more of what we can do, you can check out our website.
You'll be amazed at what I can do, brother.
No, our website for SWAT.
Oh.
EPH612. SWAT.com. We'll give you information on spirituality and their involved issues.
And we can help, especially me. You
need help. Spiritual oppression, demonic influences, mental illness, self-harm, night terrors. We try to deal with all of that. Oh, that's just creepy. Thanks for listening, and keep checking in, and we'll let you know what we're going to speak of next week.
Yes. Yes, next week.